Hi, in this part we are going to configure our personal finance manager in our local host using XAMPP package, right? So when we use PHP, as you know, we need a server to run server-side scripting language. So what we are going to do is we are going to install Apache server on our local machine, right? So in this particular example, I'll be installing it on Windows, right? If you are using a Linux or any other operating system, you have to download whichever is applicable to you, right? So just download. If you are assuming you are using Windows, just download Windows and install it first, right? So in addition to that, XAMPP stands for X stands for cross-platform, whereas A stands for Apache server, M stands for MariaDB, or you can also say MySQL database, and a P stands for PHP, and also another P stands for PHPMyAdmin. PHPMyAdmin is the graphical user interface for accessing MySQL database, right? So assuming that you have installed, right, after that, after installing that, what we have to do is we have to run this XAMPP control panel. If you install, basically you have a folder XAMPP inside your partition where you have installed your operating system, right? So in this folder, right, so if you go here XAMPP, there is a XAMPP control. So if you click, it will open up. So this is what I am having here, right? So after installing, you have to make sure your server is running, Apache server, and also since we are going to work with MySQL database, you have to start MySQL database as well, right? Now these two services are running. So after running, to access our server, the default location is localhost, right? Now we need to do a couple of things. First, we have to configure the database, right? We have to configure the database. So to access MySQL database, I'm going to PHPMyAdmin, right? Localhost PHPMyAdmin. If it doesn't work, so the localhost ID is 127.0.0.1/phpMyAdmin. It will work, but if you type something here, sometimes Google Chrome will go into internet searching that particular string. So now I have used 127.0.0.1/phpMyAdmin. It will open up MySQL database, right? So let this load. Now what we will do is we need to move the project file inside our web server, right? When we install XAMPP, there is a folder htdocs. If you go to any web server, this folder will be public_html. So here in localhost, this is htdocs. You have to place your file here, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this in CMD. So now is here CMD, right? After that, what I need is I want to go to my project GitHub repository readme file. So this is the project repository which you can find in this article. So just copy this and run the command here. Make sure we are inside htdocs. Now run this command. Now we are actually cloning the personal finance manager folder, right? Now if you see within the folder, right, this is our website, right? These are our website files, right? Now we need to configure. The database, right? Fine. To do that, let me open this folder using add folder to workspace, so which is easy to maintain. So and let me go to that folder, htdocs personal finance manager. Select this, right? Yes. Now it's here, right? Now you go to configure, and there you can see there are two important files. One is config.php, the other one is our database file in SQL format, right? So here, if you look at here, here there are 4 configurations, so it is related to our database, right? So fine. So here we have to do a couple of configuration. The important one is database configuration. So to do that, first we will go to our database, MySQL database here. So we are accessing MySQL database using phpMyAdmin. So now I'm going to create a new database. So I'm going to give a name, Personal Finance Manager DB. Now create. Now we have created the DB. Thereafter, what you have to do is, if you look at here, here's the database.sql file, so which we need to import here in order to create the tables and fields, right? So go to import, and choose file, Personal Finance Manager. From there go to config and select the database, click open and import it, right? Hopefully it will import it correctly, right? Perfect. Import has been successfully finished, right? So here is our database. Now we have created a database, right? So please understand that when we install XAMPP, by default the MySQL database username is root, and also it has no password, right? If you want to protect using a particular user, you can do so by going privileges. I am not going to show that. So here, as we have freshly installed XAMPP, the default username for accessing MySQL database is root, R-O-O-T, and at the same time there is no password. So now we have a database. So the host address is localhost. So since we have locally hosted, this host address is localhost, and also the DB user, the default one is root. The default password is no password, and our DB name is Personal Finance Manager DB, right? Let me check it again. Yeah, fine. So let's save this. And also, if you want to give additional files, so if you see here, htdocs, if you want to access this htdocs folder, the address will be 127, this one, right? So if you go here, you gotta see all the folders, right? These are kind of subdomain, not subdomains, these are kind of folders. So here is our application, right? Personal Finance Manager. Now everything is set up, right? We have connected correctly, right? For example, if we give a different database name, hopefully we'll be thrown an error because the database won't be found. Right now we are thrown an error, right? So everything is correct, right? So now application is working just fine. Just for the rest of the part, please check the demo video how you can use the system. Thank you very much.